Okay, I'm going to help you with the next lab. You're going to make a quiz for this lab. And so you can see on the instructions on there, one question is going to ask them to do a mathematical operation. One of them will be a short answer. One should be multiple choice, and then you can choose the other two. So we need 5 questions. After each question, it's going to tell the user either they got it correct or if they got it wrong. And then, you're going to compare an answer that's a string, one that's an integer or a float. So that's what these two are up here. So your mathematical calculation will be an integer or a float, and the short answer will be a string. And then a multiple choice as well. Okay, so like A, B, C, or D. Which one do they choose? Okay, and then it's going to give them their final score and percentage. All right, so let's check that out. Let's start on that. Probably gonna have to come back and refer to those instructions periodically. Okay, so first we want to ask them to do a mathematical calculation. Okay, so let's name this variable question 1. I'm going to put Q1. And we're going to say, let's make this question, we'll make it really simple. What is 2 plus 3? This space then. Now, the user could enter their answer as a number, or they could answer as a word, right? They could either type out FIVE, or they could put a 5. And since we want it to be an integer, because that's what our lab asks us to do, we're going to say enter your answer as a number. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to make sure that they got the right answer. So best way to do that is with an if statement. So we're going to say if question 1, we'll put this lowercase so it makes it easier to type. Oh, no, Q1. Okay. If Q1 is equal to 5, then we're going to print great job. And for everything else, we're going to put else. We're going to print, sorry, that is not correct. Need my quotation marks in there. Sorry, that is not correct. Now, you may have noticed already that we'll have a problem because user input always reads in as a string, right? And we need to change this to an integer or a float. So let's do this. As it reads it in, we're going to change it to, and let's change it to a float. That way they can enter any number, even if it's a decimal. Of course, they wouldn't want to enter decimal here, but you could also put int, int. It'll change it to an integer. Okay, so now, because we change it to a number, now the computer can compare the number to 5, see if it's actually equal to 5. So they get 5, it's going to say great job. Anything else is going to say, sorry, that is not correct. Okay, so now let's go on to the next one. So question 2, it said ask a question with a short answer. Let's see. And you can probably think of a better question. I'm going to ask them. Okay, I'm going to ask them, what is the avatar's name in Avatar: The Last Airbender? Okay, now if they put in, we're going to use another if statement. We're going to say if Q2 equals, and we're going to say ing ing, and we're going to print, great job. I'm just gonna copy paste this. If it's anything else, we're going to say, sorry, that's not correct. Now, we are gonna have a slight problem here because when they type it in, they could type in, I'm gonna type down here in the terminal, they could type ing like that. They could type A-N-G. They could type capital A-N-G, right? Or maybe if they put a space afterwards and then put ing, it's not gonna work, right? So what we want to do here is we wanna change this. So let's change it so that it's all lowercase letters, all right? Dot lower, so that will fix that problem. So that changes it. So everything that the user inputs here becomes lowercase, okay? So even if I typed capital letters A-N-G, that would change it so that Q2 is now a lowercase A-N-G, okay? So now it should match if I type the right thing. But now we need to take care of it just in case they actually type white spaces before or after. I'm gonna use the dot strip. Okay, so now if they do blank spaces before or after, it'll strip it off and it'll just read in the word. Okay, so let's test that out and make sure that works. Okay, what is Avatar: The Last Airbender's name? Put some spaces in there. We're gonna type in A-N-G capitalized to see if it works. Ah, it says good job. It says we did it. Okay. Okay, now we need to do a multiple choice question. Okay, so I'm gonna say Q3 equals input, and I'm going to say, let's see, I'm kind of lame about coming up with questions. Hopefully you guys can come up with some fun ones, but I'm going to ask them, what is your age? What is your age? Please select one. Okay, and so I want to do this on multiple lines. So I'm going to put 3 quotation marks. You can also put 3 apostrophes. So this line for A, I'm going to say, actually, yeah. So I'm going to say, please, let's see. Ooh, actually, I'm going to make this more fun. What is Miss Anderson's age? What is Miss Anderson's age? Okay, A will be 0 to 12 years old. If you guys select that one, you're crazy. Okay, this one, we're going to say 13 to 24 years old. And C, we're going to say 24 to, 25 to, and let's do 36 years old. That's okay, 36 years old. And then D, we're going to put 36 to 48. Sorry, 37 to 48. 37 to 48 years old. E, we're gonna write just ancient. Okay, shame on you if any of you answer that. Okay, let's just print this really fast and just make sure everything's working the way we want to. We know the first 2 are going well. Okay, and it printed. Okay, so if you want, you can leave your multiple choice question like that. I want my questions to have an indentation, so I'm going to put a backslash and then a T. That's like the same as the tab button on your computer. It's going to tab them over a bit, okay? There we go, backslash T. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, enter number 4. That's not correct. What's Avatar's name? Made it up. That's not right. Okay, what is Miss Anderson's age? And it looks like it's working, like it tabbed together. All right, so now I'm going to put please type A, B, C, D, E, or E as your answer. Excuse me. All right. So then I get it wrong. Shame on you if you answered A, D, or E. Probably B too. But anyway, let's say Q3, if Q3 is equal to, if it's equal to C, then you're right. Then we're going to say, great job. All right, anything else? We're going to say that's not correct. And now I've got to change my C so it's a string. Okay, now you'll notice on this one, we have a little bit of a problem. What if they accidentally type uppercase C, right? Instead of a lowercase c. So let's do the same thing we did above. We're going to make this dot lower to make this lowercase. So now it should work. Okay, let's just run through it, make sure it's working so far. Okay, enter A, B, C, or D. All right, I'm going to enter A. Let's see. Oh, sorry, that is not correct. It says, okay, so it worked there. And ooh, that's interesting. All right, that's something we can deal with another time. Okay, please enter your answer. Let's enter C and see if that works, capital C. Great job, it says. All right, so working so far. So we've got 3 questions and we can just make up the last 2. You can make them any questions you want. Interesting questions. I don't have any good questions. All right. Well, I'm going to be lame and let you guys come up with the last 2 questions, but you get the idea on how to do this. And I'm just going to skip to the end part so this video isn't too long and just show you how you can figure out their score and print their percentage. There's different ways you can do this, but what I'm going to do is every time they get a right answer, I'm going to, well, first let's define a variable up here, score, initially their score is 0. Every time they get a right answer, I'm going to add 1 to their score. Score equals score plus 1, right? You added 1 to the score. Now you guys will probably remember there's a fast way to do this. We can do plus equals, so score plus equals 1. So every single time they get a right answer, you're going to say score plus equals 1. Okay, so now when we get to the end, if they got this first one right, they have 1 point. Second one right, they have 2 points. Third one right, they have 3 points, right? And you're going to add 2 more questions onto this. I only did 3, you're supposed to do 5, right? So you're going to add 2 more questions onto this, so they'll have a total of 5 possible points, okay? So at the very end, now this percentage isn't going to work right on mine because I don't have 5 questions, but it will work right on yours because you will have 5 questions. You'll have your question 4 and question 5 right now. So you're going to say, so it wants to tell us to tell them their final, let me see if I can remember. The final score and their percentage. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to say final score score divided by 5. Okay, because you have 5 questions. And now their final percentage is going to be final score times 100. Okay, so you just divide by 5. Actually, let me backtrack on this. For their final score, we'll probably just tell them how many they got right. And their percentage, you're going to take their score, you're going to divide it by 5, and then you're going to multiply it by 100. And I got to go back and put starting parentheses right here. Okay, so that's going to give them their percentage. And now I want it to tell them their final score. So we're going to say print. And I'm going to put 3 quotation marks so I can do it on separate different lines. Okay, so I'm going to say, great job. Thank you for completing this quiz. All right, your final score was, and I want to put what their score was. I'm going to say score out of 5, your final percentage and then you're going to put your percentage in curly braces per I don't like that I used a capital letter there, so I'm going to switch that. So percentage. Okay, now I need to change this so it's an F string, right? F. And then I can end this. Oops, gotta put my quotation marks, 3 quotation marks, and end it. Okay, so let's just check this out and make sure it works. And it's not gonna quite work on mine because I have 3 questions instead of 5, but you'll have 5, so it'll work on yours. Enter your answer as a number for this one. Okay, I got it wrong. What is Avatar? What is Avatar's name in Avatar: The Last Airbender? Say Aang. Let's see, make sure it told me I got that right. Okay, what's Miss Anderson's age? I'm going to say C. Okay, and now it says your final score was 2 out of 5 because I got 2 of them correct, and my percentage was this. Now there's one more thing we can add here. So the one more thing I can add is that maybe I want them to tell me my percentage in the form of a percentage case. So instead of saying my percentage was 40, I might want to say it's 40%. So I'm just going to add a percent sign out here. Okay, and then we're going to run our code and see how it works. Answers 5. What's the avatar's name? Miss Anderson's name. Ooh. Okay, so now it says your final score was 2 out of 5. Your final percentage was 40%. Great job. That's it. So if you add your 2 more questions here, you should be just fine. So I'll just scroll back down over my code so you can see it again. Hopefully this video is helpful for you, and hopefully you're able to create your quiz from it.